Most people treat marriage like a graduation. They think they have finished the dating level, they won the game, and now they get to relax. They view the wedding as the finish line of a marathon. They think the hard part is finding the person, and the easy part is keeping them. This is the single biggest lie we are told about love, and it is exactly why 50% of marriages end in divorce and another 20% stay together but are miserable. Marriage is not a graduation. It is a corporate merger. Think about it. You are taking two completely different, independent companies. You have different corporate cultures. Maybe one of you thinks spending money is freedom, while the other thinks saving money is safety. You have different operating systems. One is messy, one is organized. You have different assets and liabilities, past trauma, family baggage, student debt, and you are forcing these two distinct entities to run as one single organization. In the business world, mergers fail all the time because of culture clash. In relationships, we call it irreconcilable differences, but the root cause is the same. You prepared for the wedding party, but you didn't prepare for the merger. If you don't have a clear operating strategy, this merger will bankrupt you emotionally. See, a successful marriage isn't actually one single relationship. That's too simple. A working marriage is actually three different engines running at the same time, and to stay in the air, you need all three. Engine one is the business. This is the logistics of life. This is the unsexy stuff. Paying the mortgage, driving the kids to school, cleaning the gutters, meal prepping, filing taxes. This engine is purely functional. It keeps the roof over your head. Engine two is the friendship. This is the foundation. This is the part of you that actually likes the other person. Not loves them, but likes them. It's the inside jokes, the shared hobbies, the ability to sit on a couch for 2 hours doing nothing and still have a good time. Engine three is the romance. This is the intimacy. It's the vulnerability, the physical affection, the feeling of being desired, and yes, the sex. This is what separates your husband or wife from just being a really good roommate. Here is the trap that catches almost everyone. Life naturally fuels the business engine. It demands to be fed. The bills have to be paid or the lights go out. The kids have to be fed or they cry. The house has to be cleaned. The business engine screams for attention every single day. So naturally, you pour all your fuel into it. You become excellent business partners. You become the CEO and CFO of Family Inc. You are efficient. You get things done. But while you're busy running the business, the friendship engine and the romance engine are being neglected. They are running on fumes. You stop asking, "How are you?" and start asking, "Did you pay the electric bill?" You stop going on dates because you are too tired from work. Then you hit turbulence. Maybe a health scare hits the family. Maybe one of you loses a job and the income stops. Suddenly, the business engine isn't needed as much, or it's failing, and you look across the table at your spouse and realize you don't know this person anymore. The friendship died 5 years ago. The romance died 10 years ago. All you have left is a business partner in a company that just lost its main client. You cannot invoice your way out of a loveless marriage. The second thing that kills this merger is something I call the scoreboard. In a healthy merger, both sides are working for the benefit of the new company. But in a failing marriage, the partners start keeping a secret ledger. It starts small. You think, "I did the dishes 3 times this week and she hasn't done them once." Or, "I worked 60 hours this week to pay for this house and he just sat on the couch." The moment you start counting, you have already lost. The scoreboard destroys trust because it turns a partnership into a transaction. It turns your spouse into your opponent. You stop thinking, "How do we solve this problem together?" And you start thinking, "How do I make sure I don't get ripped off?" You begin to resent their relaxation. If you see them sitting down while you're standing up, you feel anger. That is the toxicity of the scoreboard. It convinces you that for you to win, they have to lose. You have to burn the ledger. In a real partnership, you don't trade favors. You contribute because you're building the same life. Finally, there's the issue of version control. You need to understand that you will not be married married to the same person forever. It is impossible. The person you stood at the altar with, that was version 1.0. They were young, maybe carefree, probably a bit naive. 10 years later, after the sleep deprivation of having children, the stress of a mortgage, the grief of losing loved ones, and the pressure of a career, they will be version 2.0. They will be tired. They will be more serious. Their priorities will shift. The mistake people make is that they try to run their marriage on the old software. They get frustrated. They say, "You used to be so fun," or "You never used to worry about money." You're trying to force them back into a box they no longer fit in. You are in love with a memory, not the person sitting in front of you. You cannot run your marriage on 1995 software in 2025. It will crash. A successful marriage requires you to hit update. You have to stop complaining that they changed and start getting curious about who they are now. You have to remarry your spouse every 5 years. So how do you keep the engines running? You need a system. Don't rely on spontaneity. Spontaneity is for teenagers. Adults rely on schedules. Implement the 2-2-2 rule. Every 2 weeks, you go on a date. No talking about the business, no talking about the kids or the bills. You feed the friendship engine. Every 2 months, you take a weekend away. You feed the romance engine. Every 2 years, you take a week away. You update the software. Love is just a spark that starts the engines. Commitment is the fuel that keeps them running when the tank is low. But listen to me closely. Even with the best engines, you're going to hit turbulence. You're going to fight. Conflict is inevitable in any merger, but there's a right way to fight and a wrong way to fight. The way you handle conflict predicts with 90% accuracy whether your marriage lasts 5 years or 50. There's a specific style of conflict that isn't toxic. It's actually healthy. If you want to know if your partner has the emotional maturity to go the distance, or if you are fighting a losing battle, you need to watch this video next.